This camera and lens were purchased used. This camera and lens were purchased used. And yes, even this camera and lens were purchased used. Why does that matter to you? I'm trying to tell you, you can get high quality equipment for the low right now. The used marketplace, especially with tariffs going on and the uncertainty of where the economy is going to go, right now is the opportunity to jump into the used market and capitalize, especially if you're a content creator. Regardless if you're a neophyte or a veteran, I think the used market is the place to be seizing upon and dropping some bread and getting some real high quality gear to make your content stand out. I wanted to make this video because Sony just released the A7 IV, and I don't have that camera, don't need that camera for what I do, but I know a lot of folks, especially in the tech YouTube space, that swear by the A7 IV. So my thing was, well, how much better is the 5 over the 4? And come to find out, with all the reviews and the spec sheets I'm looking at, it's not that much better. Like, it is a marginal upgrade, but marginal is the key word in that sentence. So to me, I'm like, well, how much is the 7 IV right now? Because it was $2,500. Well, that price has come down to about $2,200, and it's sometimes even slightly less than $2,200. But that gets my brain to thinking, because most of the gear I have is used. I'm like, well, what's the used price on that now? Because the used price used to be $2,100, $2,200. Maybe you could get lucky and find one for $2,000. The used price is now $1,800, and in some places, if you look hard enough, even less than that. And that to me is what I'm going to talk about, because that to me is the sweet spot. That is where I think content creators should be striking and taking advantage and getting those deals, because that to me is the deal. The deal is not the new A7 V. That's not the deal. The deal, well, maybe that'll be when the A7 VI drops, then the A7 V will be the deal. But right now, the deal is for the A7 IV, because you're getting about $800 off. It's regular price. Just because a new version of it came out, and that new version isn't that much better spec sheet wise, and based off the reviews that I've watched so far, it's not that much better than the 4. So the deal is for the $1,800, $1,700 used, buy it from a reputable spot, and we'll talk about that and where to buy and places to look and stuff like that. But assuming you're getting it in like new condition or excellent condition or very good condition, $1,700, $1,800 for the specs that camera could do from a hybrid camera perspective with a high megapixel count, in addition to really good video camera specs, that to me is a deal. And with the influx and the growth of this creator economy, and there's a lot of people that have 9-to-5 jobs that are playing that viral lottery, trying to get their ticket out of that 9-to-5 life by trying to go viral and being a content creator, influencer, podcaster, filmmaker, documentarian, cinematographer, whatever you want to call it. There are a lot of people that are trying to get out of their minutia, their day-to-day mundane life, trying to get into this content game. With that is the influx of people buying equipment and buying prosumer equipment that's not necessarily Ari, Alexa, Red Komodo level, but on this Sony A7 IV, A7 V, you're talking about all the new Nikons that are dropped, the Lumix that are dropped, Canons, no slouch. Like, everyone has that high level prosumer cinema line that's cinema, but not really cinema, not Ari level cinema certainly, but that influx has caused a lot of people to, well, I can't afford the Ari Alexa, but I can afford the FX3, so let me go do that. That leads a lot of people to jump into the space and throw a lot of money and buy a lot of equipment, and now the equipment is sitting in a lot of people's houses collecting dust. That means that the next step is that equipment's going to be sold, traded in, whatever the case may be, and that's where you swoop in. It's certainly where I've been swooping in over the last 4 or 5 years. I've been swooping in, getting gear for the low, because a lot of folks are jumping in, trying to get into this content space, whether real life steps in or they get that reality check that maybe they're not that good. Maybe they don't have the drive. Maybe the content thing wasn't for them. Maybe they thought they could jump in for a quick lick and bounce, and it just didn't work. But there's a lot of equipment that's being taken back to stores in really good condition. This is the old school way of, like, used equipment meant well used, like beat up, and you're just taking it off somebody's hands. No, I'm getting equipment that is like new condition and getting 20 to 30% off. I'm getting equipment that is in excellent condition and getting 30 to 40% off of its regular price. And that to me is what I'm going to talk about, because I think if you're a content creator and you got the bread, or you've had a piece of equipment that you've had your eye on, but you thought it was too goddamn expensive, maybe a year ago or 6 months ago even, go back and check that used price now, because the tariffs and just the general uncertainty of what's going on here in the US especially, that has led prices of new equipment to jump up, and jump up a lot. You know, I'm recording on two Sony ZV-E1s and a ZV-E10 Mark II. The price I paid used in like new condition for these two Sony ZV-E1s, you would have to pay $300 to $500 more in the same condition right now than the last year and change when I bought these cameras. This camera new is now $700 to $800 more than what I paid for this camera used just a year ago. And that has happened across the board through a lot of different spaces, not just with cameras, it's with lenses, it's with microphones, it's with audio interfaces, video switches, it's with it all. I think it's a chance to really jump in there and just buy equipment from reputable spots, buy used equipment from reputable spots that has return policies that they actually adhere to. And we'll get to some of the spots where I think you should cop, or places that I have trusted and have not been burned. But I think right now is a really good time, because if you could get an A7 IV with all its capabilities for the low of $1,700-1,800, even if it's for 30 days for you to try it out, and then if you realize, hey, this is too much camera for me, or maybe that the marginal upgrade of the 5 is actually a difference for you and your workflow, then at least you got an A7 IV for 30 days, and then you got to try it out and learn that lesson. And then you take it back at no cost. You get your money back. I could tell you I had to use a return policy just last week, because I had to return an HDMI switcher that was very high on the Rodecaster Video. I'll put over here? Yeah, we put the card up over there if you want to check that out. I did a review of it, and I really thought that was going to be like the linchpin, the foundation of my setup. And it turned out there was a couple limitations that I was not aware of. And when I got the product and realized those limitations, it completely threw me off and made me not want the product no more. Despite all the other good things, the boxes that it checked, there were two huge boxes that for me, it didn't check, and that completely threw me. So I had to return it. Now, if it was from a janky spot, if it was from an eBay, if it was from a Facebook marketplace, I'm probably not getting my bread back, or I had to be chasing people down to get my bread back. But because I got it from Amazon Renewed, I took it to Whole Foods, returned it, got my bread back in a couple days. Done. Instantaneous almost. So places where you should go to buy used gear. Amazon Renewed already mentioned, but make sure it says sold and shipped from Amazon. Amazon Resale. It's still Amazon Renewed, but if it's officially now Amazon Resale, that's where you want to make sure you go to. There's other people that sell used stuff on Amazon. They're normally price gouging. I'll keep it a buck with you. I do not trust it. It's a little janky to me. But Amazon Renewed, that Amazon Resale, I trust that. MPB. MPB.com is a great website. I know they sponsored creators in the past, but I have flipped all my Canon equipment to them and enhanced my Sony lenses, which you see amongst my 3 cameras here today. And I even have a few more lenses for when I do shoots outside. MPB, I can definitely say, is very, very good. They're in Brooklyn if you're a tri-state person, so very fast shipping. But even if you're not, if you're outside the tri-state area, extremely good shipping, extremely good customer service and communication if you have any questions, any issues, etc. I have really become a fan of MPB.com. KEH.com is another spot. They've also have sponsored creators in the past. Very good. I've had to use their return policy with equipment that I thought I was going to like and enjoy, and kind of find out it wasn't what I thought it was. So I can vouch for their return policy. No issues, smooth transactions. Who else we have here? I have my little list here. B&H. B&H is a brick and mortar store. I'm sure most of you, if you're in the tech space, you have heard of B&H. B&H has a really good return policy. You can also get used equipment from B&H. They have a very good grading scale in terms of letting you know exactly the type of equipment you're buying and what's missing, if there is anything, what condition it's in. They have their own scale that they grade the equipment on. Very good service. Adorama, same type of deal, tri-state area in New York City. Same type of deal like B&H, very, very similar grading scale, similar type of inventory and equipment, very good deal. With everything going on in the climate, I think now is the best time to go get yourself some used gear. I know it's nice to have something brand spanking new. You can do the unboxing, the first impressions, and it looks cool, right? To have the spanking new thing. No one has gotten this except for me. I don't live by that. I don't mind getting something secondhand, third hand, And as long as it's in good condition and as long as I have a game plan of how I'm going to use it and it fits that, I'm all for it. I could save 20, 30, 40% off the original price. It's just like getting a used car. The used car, having a new car is great until you realize once you drive off that lot, the depreciation has kicked in and the value of that car has plummeted the minute you drive off that lot. It's the same thing with a new camera. You pay that premium for a new camera. The minute you press that shutter one time, the value is now diminished. That's just my thought on it. I think you should go out there and cop some used gear. Let me know what type of used gear you would buy if you had the chance right now, if you had the funds. I mean, it is coming close to tax time. You're getting that tax refund, you're going to drop it on some used gear. I might be dabbling, I don't know. But stay tuned, stay locked into the channel. I go by the name of DCMD. This is Shield Free Tech, and I'll see you again real soon.